sweat on my back, got my shirt soaked and sour, and oh, it's already gone. Second night's coming and I'm spinning back around. We're all caught up, can't hear or feel the sound, and oh, it's already gone. And here comes the feeling when you don't got nothing, and all you want to do is get up and start running. You can't hide long cause you know it's gonna start up again. Here's one thing that I know for certain, is life's too short to be worrying about you hurting for long. Oh, it's already gone. Got time but money's not something that's free. Seems the roll of the dice never rolls back to me. You know, it's already gone. A bird in my hand, two cans in the other, start spinning around. Now here comes another, and oh, it's already gone. And here comes the feeling when you don't got nothing, and all you want to do is get up and start running. You can't hide long cause you know it's gonna start up again. Here's one thing that I know for certain, is life's too short to be worried about you hurting for long. Oh, it's already gone. And all you want to do is get up and start running. You can't hide long cause you know it's gonna start up again. Here's one thing that I know for certain, is life's too short to be worried about you hurting for long. Well, it's already gone. Already gone. It's already gone.
What is up, Jags fans? We are here, and we have a little guest joining us to start. I'm sure she will not stick around because she does not want to see these grades, because tonight we are grading the Jaguars through week 7. Yes, we are. We're following categories. Trevor Lawrence, the offense, rookies, the coaching, the front office, the fans, and a total overall grade. So I'm going to need your help. We're going to try to be abstract and honest, and we're going to try not to be too critical, right? Like, sometimes you're a teacher, you know, you have a preconceived notion of a student. We're not doing that here. We're not doing that here. We are being honest. We're being ready to go. So it's going to be a fun show. Usually we do Club Jaguar on Wednesday nights, but both UCF Jaguar and Jordan DeLugo both couldn't make it tonight. They had completely valid excuses. It's not a situation where the Jags are bad and they didn't want to do it. Completely valid. So I was like, listen, what am I going to do? Right. So I figured I'd go live here. So I appreciate you guys being here. This is a very fan interactive show. No film breakdown on this show. So if you want to watch the film, go back to last night's show. We broke down the film from the Jags Bears game. tonight we're just going to talk Jags. We're going to take a collective moment to think about what's been happening with the team, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So get in the comments. I'm going to try to hit as many as I can tonight. The first one in the chat, channel member C Breacher says, an extremely rare Wednesday night show. Well, I always do Wednesday nights on Club Jaguar. Oh, a little Zen juice went down the wrong hole. But anyways, this is a compensation for Club Jaguar. So glad y'all are here. Charlie Boy says L grade. Christopher says, who needs Club Jaguar when you got Jags United, baby? I'd rather be on Club Jaguar. I love talking to those guys. It's a lot of fun. But, you know, sometimes don't lose out on good for perfect. There's some saying. So don't throw out good for perfect. There's some saying. I don't know. Shay says bonus content. Indeed. Guy says, yo. 100 miles per hour says, whatever the worst grade is, throw that on. All right, so here's the grading scale is going to be. Grading scale is going to be 100 to 90 is an A, 80 to 89 is a B, 70 to 79 is a C, 60 to 69 is a D. Nice. And below 60 is an F. Davis says, back-to-back, this is better than winning the lottery. So let me show you guys like what I'm kind of thinking about doing here, just so y'all can see. All right, so we're gonna have student name, Jags. Teacher, Jags United. We'll say Jags United and chat. Yeah. Year, the year of our Lord, 2024. Date, let's use the phone here, October 16th. All right, so we'll just go out and fill out these subjects here. We're going to start with Trevor. We have the offense. Look at this writing skills here. We have the defense. We have the rookies. We have the coaching. We have the front office. Probably should have filled this out ahead of time, but that's okay. There's no looking back. No regrets. The fans. And then our total. All right. Then we got comments and recommendations. Pretty excited about that, I must say so myself. So that's how it's going to look, just so you know, all right? Here, so make sure that you get in there. We're gonna go in order, so we're going to start with Trevor. We're not there yet, though. Kyle says, man, I'm studying and can't hang long. Jags are disappointing, and I hope the Tony Boselli rumors are true. Tony Boselli for executive vice president. I did see that. And the general sentiment has just been like, it can't be worse than what's happening now, which is true. I mean, I guess it technically could be worse. I guess instead of 1 win, there could be 0 wins. Favorite triceps workout? Well, that's easy. That's the skull crusher. The skull crushers. Oh yeah, you cannot beat a good skull crusher. I mean, that's just the best tricep workout on earth. Close second though would be dips. I really like dips, weighted dips, especially. You get up there. Oh yeah, those are good. Holy, is the mic clipping? All right, let me know if it keeps clipping. Oh no, boys. Oh no. Hold on a second. Hold on, I think I fixed this. Hello. Check 1 2. All right, that sounds like it's a little bit better. All right, sorry about that. Doug, trash. Players, trash. Bulky clown. Cats, royalty. Skull crushers, dog. Yeah, it's the best right there. Your mic sounds like CSGO. Except we don't play CSGO anymore because you. I don't know. I don't know what happened to you. I don't really play anymore either. Mike is clipping bad. Better for now. All right, let me know how it goes. Sorry. Let me know if it goes bad. I've been having some problems with it. I should probably fix it, but that's what a pro YouTuber would do. Dude, I'm still waiting on you to hit me up. Oh, okay. I almost made a joke about something there. This is Mr. Talk. All right. We're going to do it. Mr. Talk, I got you. Hey, Siri, remind me tomorrow to hit up Mr. Talk.
Okay, I've added hit up Mr. Talk for tomorrow.
There we go. Club United. That's it. That dude, Evan. Channel member, thanks for being here. Shay says, Jason, not saying he should come back, but how about Mark Brunell coaching up Goff to a great year? Keenan crushing it in Minnesota. Cool to see them doing well. It is nice to see these guys doing well outside of Jacksonville. It really is. I coached with Mark Brunell for a couple years when I was in my coaching stint back in the day. Great guy. Super nice guy. Still pissed, but I heard a wise man say I'd rather have bad football than no football. Still hurts. You know, that does sound like a wise man, Callie. That does. It sounds like a very, very wise man. Defense has been a complete F these past weeks. That's the report card you hide from mom right there. What sucks is nowadays it's all virtual, and you can just like look it up online. Although half the parents don't know how to do it. So my generation, when I have kids, which is weird to say because all my friends do have kids. So the people my age that have kids, they're going to know how to access grades on the internet, but we're still kind of in that bubble. Although I will say, like, there's like, I do work at a school. I'm an athletic director, and I've worked in schools for a while. I'll never forget the first time I met a student whose parent I went to high school with and graduated with. Whew. At the very least, Baselli would have the best interest of the Jags and fans. Not sure where the focus is at the moment. I don't know. I think Baselli would do a good job. I don't think we could expect a lot from him, to be honest. All right. Let's get to the grades here. We're going to start with Trevor. All right. I actually need to fix my notes here just so. All right. So Trevor, let's talk about Trevor for a second. That'll work. Let's talk about Trevor for a second. The reality of it is he is 1-5. He is 1-5. With like the offense, like doing how they're doing. If the offense does good, the quarterback gets all the praise. So if the offense does bad, the quarterback gets the bad. He has 116 completions on 191 attempts. That's good for a 60.7 completion percentage. He's got 1,334 yards. He's got 8 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Elephant in the room, he's had a lot of drops. And not just this year, but throughout his entire career. And that's kind of indicative by his QBR. His QBR is 56.3, which is technically his highest QBR ever. But if you look back at the last 2 years, in 2023 and 2022, he had like a 56.1, a 56.2. So like he's kind of hovering around his average QBR over the last 2 years. He's 12th in passing yards. I mean, that's above average. He's 17th in passer rating. That's below average with an 89.2. And you got to keep in mind with all these stats, because I have a lot of like season stats here tonight. You got to keep in mind that 3 teams have had bye weeks. I think the Eagles, the Dolphins, and the Chargers haven't played games. So when we look at like rankings throughout the league, as far as like yards and touchdowns and everything other stat, there are 3 teams who haven't played as many games as the Jags. The stat that's kind of killing me is he's 29th in completion rate, above expectation. I will say he hasn't had the greatest supporting cast around him this year. Brian Thomas Jr. is obviously good. Kirk was hurt and played for a little bit. Evan Ingram's only played like 1 real game. Gabe Davis has not really helped him at all. I mean, though he had 2 touchdowns last week. I know we got to mention that. The running game, Tank Bigsby's helped, but ETN hasn't. The offensive line was terrible the first 2 weeks and then kind of evened out a little bit. he hasn't had a lot of help, and we got to consider that when we're giving him his grade. Shay says Trevor's a 77, so we have a 77. That's a C. C Breacher says C plus. Isaiah Jones says he's actually better than Patrick Mahomes in my opinion, so I'm gonna give him a C plus. I know what you're saying as far as like he's better than Patrick Mahomes is because the stats right now for Patrick Mahomes, even though they're undefeated, his stats aren't as good as Trevor's, but I don't think those things are comparable there. I'm going to give Trevor, we'll just put it here. I'm going to give him a C plus. I think I'm with you guys on that grade. He had some, I mean, he's kind of, the last 2 weeks, he's kind of evened out and he's kind of had some good plays here and there. Overall, he started the season kind of rocky, missing wide open throws. He's had the drops. Like I'm kind of almost inclined to give him a B minus. But I think C plus is fair. Fearful Wish says, I just do a straight C. Hasn't been great, but hasn't been terrible. Okay, so if you're going C and Shay goes C, I think if I'm going to give him a little notch, because I am going to put a little bit of stock into the fact that he hasn't had a great supporting cast around him. So I'm going to give him a C plus. I'm going to give him a C plus. All right, now let's say the offense as a whole, and we have to average in Trevor into the offense as a whole. They're tied for 12th in the league with 8 touchdowns. They're tied for 6th in the league for sacks given up with 17. They're 15th in rushing yards. That's average with 699 rushing yards. They're tied for 2nd in yards per carry, which is pretty good. I mean, yards per carry, they are 5.3 yards per carry. I mean, that's up there. I mean, that's a lot of yards per carry. When you look at last year, I think when you look at when they started going downhill, they were like at 3 yards per carry. So a 5.3 is a major upgrade. I think Tank has a lot to do with that. The health of the offensive line and how they played the last few weeks has helped. Mr. Talk is going to give Trevor a B plus. Cali Jags is going to give him a B minus. So I think we're averaging around a C plus. I think we are. Here's where the offense is going to get their biggest hit to their grade. They're tied for 18th with total touchdowns with 12. I think total touchdowns is kind of where you got to look at this team. It's my mic clipping again. I'm. Hello. Check. I can look at my. I just made up my headphones on so I can hear it. I can look at my my soundboard and I can see that it's like clipping, which is not good. I apologize for that, guys. I'm gonna try to get it figured out here. Check. All right, that sounds pretty evened out. Sorry about that. I'm gonna leave like just my headphones on. Y'all don't care, right? Because of my mic issues. But the offense, Isaiah Jones says C minus. Fearful Wish, O-line drops them. O-line is bad. We need to get rid of Balky, says Adsert. So, I mean, 18 total touchdowns is not good. It's just not good at all. 12 total touchdowns tied for 18th is not good. They're tied for 15th in 8 receiving touchdowns. They're 15th in receiving yards with 1362, 15th in touchdowns for receivers with 18 or with 8. So, I mean, they're kind of hovering around that average to below average mark. I'm going to give their offense a C. And this is probably higher than it should be. Like, I'm kind of inclined to give them a C minus. But I think C sounds fair. I think C sounds fair. to me. Simon Duzeralt says Bigsby and BTJ are carrying this offense so far. That's true. Shay says offense is a D+. Too many 3-and-outs in a row. Feels difficult to move the ball at times. What do y'all think about a C-? How do y'all feel about a C-? Does C- sound more fair than a C? Or a C good? I'm between C and C-. C-. Yeah. I think Shay and Fearful Wish have talked me into a C-. I'm going to go C- for the offense. You think about the drops. The drops just really kill you. Cali Jag brings up we have been better the past few weeks. Offense. Sea Breacher says offense has had its moments of success. I would give it a D+ or a C-. C- says Simon. Red zone offense. C-. Okay. I think C- is where we can all agree here. I think that's good. All right, let's move on to the defense here. Here's where I'm torn. Is like the offense hasn't. I mean, when you have a C- offense, I feel like your defense can only do so much. And like, I get it. I mean, I'm seeing in the chat, Cali Jag says F-. Fearful Wish says F. Robert Adzert talking about Gabe Davis alone is an F. Mr. Talk says the route tree sucks. They do not threaten anybody. Sea Breacher says defense is an F. I don't know if I can give the defense an F here. Like, I have to hide this for a second. Like, if we look up the Jags record. I mean, Dolphins, we gave up 20. Browns, we gave up 18. I would say if you held the offense to under 20 points, that's a good day for your defense. And like, I know they had the plays there, but so like weeks 1 and 2, I thought the defense played okay. Then you had the 47 game to the Bills where they get an F. You had the 24 to the Texans. I mean, that's not horrible. Then you had 37 to the Colts and 35 to the Bears. So the last 4 weeks have just been really bad. They had a good 2-week start. This is why it's hard for me to give them an F, because if they had given up over 20 points every week, it'd be an easy F, especially with the 37 to the Colts, the 35 to the Bears, and the 47 to the Bills. But we're looking at a team that gave up under 20 the first 2 weeks of the season. So 31st in yards allowed. So second to last in yards allowed with 1744. That's an F grade for the yards allowed. 32nd in touchdowns allowed. That's an F grade with the touchdowns allowed with 14. 31st in yards per attempt. That's an F grade for yards per attempt. Tied for 32nd with 1 interception. That's an F grade. Tied for 17th with 14 sacks. So at least they're getting some sacks. The Giants actually somehow have 20. The Giants have 12 more sacks than the Jags. That is crazy to think about. The Giants have 12 more sacks. I'm going to get to some of these. Defense could be F+. I'm being extremely honest. F- is the grade they deserve for the defense. Who are you fooling when you consistently show blitz and blitz once? Bro, the Browns destroyed us in time of possession. How about a D- then? Either way, it sucks. Also, the Browns don't really count since they haven't recorded over 20. Dolphins was the only good game somewhat. That's fair. That's actually a fair point, Isaiah. It's a very fair point. Don't forget, we can't force a turnover. Volkfang says, yo, what's up? What's up, Volkfang? Right now, we're grading the team. We've done Trevor Lawrence. We gave him a C. The offense got a C-. Now we're trying to determine the defensive grade. The 24 against the Texans was really weak. 24 points we gave up, though. We got carved up. And when you think back to the win against the Colts, the defense really kind of fumbled the bag there. I have to look at injuries that have caused defense to be vanilla. I mean, Aluakon's out. Campbell's out. That's a good point. Two of our best players on defense. So an F. Giants have a good D-line, Dexter Lawrence and Brian Burns. D for defense. They had a good game against Houston. Need to see that pass rush, though. I think I'm kind of on the D train as well. Because think about our other categories. Front office, coaching. I think D- is a solid grade. Bro, the defense has got to be an F. I'm seeing a lot of Fs. Should I sign you up for the Bachelor? Hey, dude, I'm getting to the age where I might have to be on the Golden Bachelor. Put me on the Golden Bachelor. That's what I need to be on with the older people. I'll slay on the Golden Bachelor. Absolutely. The normal Bachelor, I don't think it was funny. This is my favorite part about the Bachelor because I've seen it a few times. I've actually seen the Bachelor / Bachelorette like a good amount of times because for some reason, whenever I'm in a relationship with somebody, that seems to be the show they want to watch. I don't know why. Sometimes you got to just be on your phone. Sometimes the drama is a little interesting, but the thing is like every season that I've seen, which is maybe 2 or 3, is that like people get mad. They're like, oh, you're making out with multiple people. It's like that's the entire premise of the show. And these people are getting mad. But no, don't sign me up. I won't go. D at the highest. Everyone has injuries put together at a better roster then. Why don't we blitz? Why, says Jacob O'Brien. It's a good question. I just think we have to play our best players in critical situations. This is why we're getting killed on defense. Okay, so everyone's saying an F. And the teacher is me and the chat, so I think it's only fair that, if you guys want to give it an F, F is the lowest it goes, just so y'all know. But listen, I'll listen to y'all. You want to give an F? That's fine. That's fine. There is no F. So Isaiah brings a good point. F plus, there is no F plus. Once you get to F, it's failing. It's failing. So F is the lowest it gets. That's fair. That's fair. Listen, listen. You see the teacher here? Jags United and chat. Okay, so. All right. Let's get to the rookies. Brian Thomas Jr. That's got to be an A plus, right? He leads he had the fastest recorded time on the football field all year. So he's legit has the fastest time. Definitely a hit. So he's an A plus for BTJ. I think he has to be weighed the most because he was the first round pick. But we do have to also look at the other rookies and factor them in. You had Mason Smith. He's on the field. I don't know if he's quite contributing, but he's on the field. Jarian Jones. I think he has potential, but as of right now, we can give him a potential grade. It is what it is. Javon Foster hasn't seen the field. Jordan Jefferson's actually getting snaps. Again, not a guy that's very productive, but he's at least seeing the field. Trey Prince isn't seeing the field very much. Keelan Robinson literally hasn't seen the field because of injuries. Cam Little now that's a guy that's helping the team. So Cam Little, you got to factor him in. You do. And then Miles Cole, who we haven't really seen. So basically you have Brian Thomas Jr., Cam Little, and a little bit of Mason Smith, and then everyone else is literally not contributing. So it's hard for getting the production out of Brian Thomas Jr. and to grade below a B-, in my opinion, because, again, you're just weighing the first-round pick so much. Mason Smith is playing at least. So we have, isn't our defensive secondary last in yards per game and points per game? Got to be an F. Yeah, we gave him an F. Brian Thomas Jr. literally carrying the rookies. Other than that, so far, we're a solid B. C plus for rookies. Probably a B plus just because of Brian Thomas Jr. and Little. I think BTJ brings the rookies up a grade to a B minus. Rookies are a solid B minus. B plus. I think we got a B plus for rookies, given BTJ looks like a future Pro Bowler. I think it's got to be a B plus for rookie. Okay, yeah. I'm somewhere between a B plus. Rookies as a whole get a C plus. BTJ and Little carry that. I think there's a lot of B pluses. I tend to kind of lean toward C minus. Williams says C plus. I mean, I know you guys don't. This is like probably the one you guys don't agree on the most. C. I'm seeing a lot of C pluses. I'm seeing C pluses and B pluses. So I'm somewhere between a B minus and a B. I'm going to be a kind teacher here. I'm going to give him a B. I'm going to be the nice teacher. I'm going to be the nice teacher that bumps your grade up a bit. I'm going to go B here. Without BTJ, it's a C minus. You're right, but BTJ is an A plus. So I think, and again, I am putting more stock in Brian Thomas Jr. because he was the first round pick, and like that's who has to hit. So I'm gonna give the rookies a B. And this report card is looking pretty sad. BTJ performing above expectations, at least a B. Other guys like Brenton Strange last year on the field, but what are they actually contributing? B minus or a B? Okay. 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 All right, moving on to coaching. I'm between two, and I have a feeling that you guys are going to be at one that I'm at. I'm between two. It's hard to evaluate coaching. I know. Here's the thing. Okay, Isaiah says a D. Let me just give you like my two. Let me give you my two like train of thoughts here, and then you guys tell me what you think. And again, I could be like trying to. Again, I'm a nice teacher. I try to bump the grades up when I can. I'll just tell you what I'm thinking. It's pretty obvious that the execution of the players on the field is making the team look really bad. The drops, the fumbles, the penalties, like those make the team look really bad. At the same time, the coaches they're in charge. So like, why isn't your player ready on game day? At the same time, they can't go out there and make plays. At the same time, the Jags are 31st in scoring margin with a negative 10.8. 31st in scoring margin, negative 10.8. They were a plus 0.4 last year. So negative 11.4 worse than last year. Let me get some of these comments here. Coaching is an F if Peterson is talking about fixing the culture 6 weeks in. C or a D, says BT. Coaching is a C minus, says Chef Florida Boy. Coaching is an F. Aside from a weak scheme, the main problem is that they're in absolute dismay and say they don't know how to get this thing back on the rails. The defense is bringing the coachings down a good chunk. What if the players are mid, says Ice Dancer. That's kind of where I'm struggling to give, because honestly, like I would be fine giving them an F, but I do not think these players are very good. I don't. I mean, I really like, you guys know me. I'm a huge fan of Jimmys and Joes are more important than X's and O's. Chef Boy says F. We are in win now year and 1-5. Coaching is nads. This report card is making me want to go study. They got rid of the solution and kept the problem. Someone last year still haunts me. A D, says Cali Jag. Hockey rotations, poor time management. When we have a lead, giving D'Ernest a ton of snaps, multiple bad play calls a game. C minus, though. It's the unforgivable sin of admitting that you as a coach have no idea how to fix the problem. As bad as Cisco publicity, admitting the guys have to quit. Nielsen is an F. Press is bad, but the execution by the offense is awful. That's where I'm at. D. I think I'm at D. I think I'm at D. Is any team less predictable than the Jags on either side? Peterson needs to study. You know what, guys? I think the average of your comments here and how I feel, I had them between a D minus and an F. I really did. Those were the two I had. I'm seeing some C minuses. I'm seeing a lot of C minuses from you all. I'm going to give them a D. I'm going to give them a D. I don't think Nielsen's been very good. At the end of the day, the coach is the CEO of how the team performs. I know we don't like Gabe Davis. I know Ronald Darby's been playing bad, and Peterson had no control over that. Peterson had no control over losing Calvin Ridley, even though he hasn't been good. Peterson had no control over drafting Trayvon Walker over Aiden Hutchinson, even though Aiden Hutchinson's out. But at the end of the day, these guys are professional players. So I'm going to give him a D. I'm going to give him a D. All right. Moving on to the front office. The front office. Let's take a look at who they've brought in. Let's take a look. Arik Armstead. No good. Ronald Darby. No good. Gabe Davis. No good. Devin Duvernay. No good. Travis Gibson. Traded before he even played a game. Mitch Morse. Oh, we can give them Mitch Morse. Darnell Savage. Okay. Joey Sly was signed and then cut. They traded for Mac Jones. They signed Josh Allen to an extension. These are all front office things. They signed Ezra Cleveland to an extension. They signed Tyler Shatley to an extension and then cut him. They released Foley Fatukasi. They released Darius Williams. They released Jamal Agnew. Then we already went through the draft class. Front office gets an F minus squared, says Shay. C minus, F. I'd say F regardless, though. Single instances of poor execution are on a player. Systematically poor execution is a coaching problem. I like that, Volkfang. I think that's kind of where I'm at. Well said. Very well said. Is the front office bad or is it the coaching? Is it the chicken or the egg? That's a great point. Q Rivera says, yeah, but BTJ. Good point. Front office is an F. Shaq Griffin getting rid of Darius, signing Darby. Front office is a C minus. Failing to address known problems, i.e. O-line for years. That's kind of where I'm going to give them their biggest ding, I believe. Although I don't know. Isaiah Jones says I'm going D. Both can be true. Honestly, with the quality of players and the contracts we were giving out, I'd give it a C. As far as production, I'd give it a D. Trading up in the first for Lloyd was garbage. 2 questions. What was dinner? What was your undergrad in? Okay, thank you. Dinner tonight was a rotisserie chicken. Just a straight rotisserie chicken, nothing else. No veggies, no fruit, no carbs, just straight rotisserie chicken. You guys know me. I do the animal-based diet, which is essentially just meat, fruit, nuts. That's basically it. I would encourage any of you guys to try it. I've been doing it for years and years and years, and it's amazing. So just rotisserie chicken. Delicious. Absolutely delicious. And honey, rotisserie chicken and honey. Oh yeah, delicious. My undergrad, I did a double major. I did a degree. I got a degree in political science, and then I got a degree in history. So, a lot of research papers, to say the least. Bungled a Hines Allen extension and let it linger too long. Mismanaged the available free agency. Only hit on BTJ because Ridley chased the bag. That's an F. I.e. no pass rush for years. Okay, I might boost up to a D- only because of his first-round picks. He did draft Anton Harrison, too. Traded down for both Anton Harrison and Brian Thomas Jr. and still got him. This roster doesn't match the schemes on both sides of the ball. I'd say F- personally. This team still lacks talent, even though Trent has been here for like 4 to 5 years now. Do you think Roy was happy leaving? Oh, absolutely. I thought Roy Robertson Harris was the happiest person in the building yesterday. I'd say F+ because the team still lacks talent, even though Trent's been here for 4 to 5 years. Yep. No one's happier this week than Roy Robertson Harris. Evan Ingram, BTJ, and Anton is why I don't give the front office an F. Remember, he wanted Ridley and Gabe to be starters. Luckily, BTJ and Ridley lucked into BTJ after Ridley left. BTJ is the biggest draft pick since Pacelli. About to take my midterm for my American history class. Oh, dude, if you don't get an A+ on that, you're an idiot. History is the easiest subject of all time. So easy. Like, the thing about history classes is if you don't do well in a history class, it's not because you're dumb. It's because you're lazy. Because it's not like you're having to figure out complex math problems. It's not like you're trying to have to connect to thoughts with science and using the scientific method. And it's not that. You're not having to like decode literary devices in English. You're not learning a foreign language. You're literally just memorizing dates and events. Just don't be lazy. Imagine Ridley and Gabe starting. 90% of our draft picks are disappointing. Why is the NFL dragging feet on Tayshaun Gibson Sr.? I don't know. It's a good question. Not a lot of information about that. We spent so much last offseason, and for what to show for it? You can answer a few questions right and still get an F. Bulky has had a Super Bowl level assets and flipped it into a 1-5 season so far. All right. So I was going to give him an F, and I think everybody's on F for sure. But because some people are bumping it up because of Brian Thomas Jr. and Anton Harrison, I think a D- is fitting here. And trust me, boys, I wanted to go into this show giving the front office an F. But you're right. You can get a few questions right and get an F, but some questions are weighed more than others. And on some of the questions that are weighed more, like first-round picks, they're getting right. So I think they get a D- here. I think they get a D-. I honestly believe Doug asked for Anton. Anton's not even that great. If you look up bum in dictionary, you'll see a picture of Gabe Davis. All right, last is fans. Fans. You know what? I'm sorry. How are we going to give the defense an F and the front office a D-? See, this is why I didn't want to give the defense an F. This is why I wanted to give the defense a D-, because then the defense and the front office would actually like make sense. There's no world where the defense gets an F and the front office gets a D-. There's no world. There's absolutely no world where that happens. I'm changing it. I'm coming in as the principal. I'm overriding this grade. Front office is getting an F. They're getting an F. I'm sorry. It's an F. It's an absolute and it's an absolute F. Like, I'm sorry. Like, whoever brought it up, the fact this is a team that's supposed to make a deep run in the playoffs the last 2 years, missed the playoffs, and then now has an embarrassing start to this team who's been around for 5 years. You've had coach and you've had quarterback. This is an F. This is an F. Like, I almost talked myself into the D-, and I get the people that are saying the rookies they hit on, but, like, I'm sorry, this is an F. I can't look at this report card and give the defense an F and give the front office a D-. I can't do that. I just can't do that. F. Failing. It's a failing grade, boys. That's an absolute failing grade. I'm sorry. Failing grade. Send Gabe Dak to Buffalo. Defense at BTJ, yeah. Flip the grades for front office and defense. That probably is what I should have done, but it's okay. Too late. Remember when Gabe Davis caught 4 touchdowns versus the Chiefs? Let's go, says Grant. Agreed. We've only been blown out in 2 games. Yeah, but the one game we won, we almost lost in an embarrassing way. So, like, if you're going to get credit for the wins, let's be fair. The defense is one of the worst in the league. Only 1 interception is F material. F. Fans, C. Half of fans need all 22 film. They overreact on everything. How about give the defense a D-? You're going to give it before. I could do that, but I can't go back that far and change it. Didn't Trent force D coordinator on us? I don't know what really happened. All right, let's get back to the fans. Fans get a C-. BT says fans get a C-. We should be filling the stadium more, cheer more than just third down on D. Volkfang says I'm unqualified to comment on the fan grade. I'm hundreds of miles away from Jacksonville, so I only IRL know 3 other Jags fans. But that just that gives the Jags fans a good grade because you are hundreds of miles away and you're still a fan. So that actually adds to the grade. Trent's raspy voice factors into the grade. Well done, Moon. Well done. We should pump more fake noise into the stadium. I think Jason is an A on the grade, fan. You know what? I know. I thought Moon. I did think about special teams, but I was going to give them an A+ for the memes. And then I thought about maybe A is more appropriate. But there is a lot of toxic Jags fans, but there is a lot of toxic every fan. Like, every fan base has toxic fans. So is it really fair to be like, oh, they have toxic fans? Because every fan base has toxic fans. Grant, okay, I got to show this one. A quarter of a second. And a quarter of a second is pretty fast. That's how much faster Brian Thomas Jr. was on his top speed than the second place top speed. So it's pretty fast. A quarter of a second before Grant typed this, I was thinking, the fact that we still even have fans after the misery we've been through for over a decade, 15 years, the fact that we have fans still that are as committed as you all, that's A material. That's A freaking material. Absolutely. Absolutely. A lot just hate on Trevor without really watching. Yeah, good point. I live in Canada and still cheer for this team. And there are tons of others too. A+. We all need to wear fire bulky shirts to get an A. A+ for Jags content. Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of good Jags content creators out there. A+, Duval till we die. Fans are loyal as fucking respectable. However, not as many fans in other fan bases might be an A-. Isaiah Jones is too logical. Too logical. All his comments tonight have been very logical. Very logical. That's a very logical point. Maybe the entire plan from front office coaches and players has been to be so bad that Shad wants to change and give us updated Prowler unis for next year so we can get rid of the ugly Ooh. Wolfang's got the conspiracy big brain going on. I like that. I will say it is sad to see half the stadium. It's not empty. On what earth is the stadium? I go to every game. The stadium is never even close to half empty. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Facts. Understandably, though. 100%. Bro, nosebleeds are $25. Not after the Ticketmaster fees. They're not. This is the type of recorder that would get me a B. I also grew up in a home with capital punishment where you would die if you did anything like that. No A unless you travel. Oh, Randy. Okay. Only downside is that when we have home games, there are four. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Wolfang's big brain. Do you travel with the team to other cities? I try to go to one away game a year, and it's not because I don't want to go to away games. I would go to every single away game if I didn't have to work and I could afford it. And mainly the latter, because they're kind of expensive to buy a plane ticket, hotel, and then a game ticket. Where in these other stadiums are, like I talked about last night on the Lions game, to get in the doors, $300. It's not that I don't want to go. Just don't have that kind of capital sitting in the savings account, unfortunately. The YouTube channel is not that big. I hate to tell y'all. Visitor side was half empty for the Colts game. I'm going to go argue as long as it's an A in the territory. Can you show a report card to Doug? Fans get an A. They're just up as clowns. They pay actual money to travel to games when they get nothing in return. Yep. Shay's always right, and Shay's right here. It's an A. It's an A. It's an absolute A. It's an absolute A. All right. So, if we look at the GPAs here, this is non-weighted scale, so we'll go regular scale. A C plus is a 3 point. We'll give Trevor. We'll give him a 3.8. I'm sorry, not 3.8. Ugh. 2.8. C minus for the offense. They get a 2.0. Defense is an F. It's a 0. Rookies is a B. That'll be a 3. We'll give him a 3.3 for rookies. No, let's do a 3.4. 3.4. Coaching's a D. That's gonna be just a straight. That's gonna be a straight 1.0. Front office is an F. It's a 0. And the fans with an A. It's not an A plus, so we'll give them a 3.8. Hey Siri, what's 2.8 plus 2.0 plus 0 plus 3.4 plus 1 plus 0 plus 3.8?
2.8 plus 2
13.
plus 0 plus 3.4 plus 1 plus 0 plus
Okay. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hey Siri, what's 13 divided by 7? 1.857. All right, so a 1.857 will round this up to a 1.9 equals do not pass. Two 2.0 is passing. Got to have a 2.0 to pass. If we only would have given them a few more points here, given the state of this country and the education system, they probably would pass them. Probably. Rounds up to a 2.0. And they would pass, and they would barely pass. They would pass. So we'll round this up. Grade 1.9. That's a D plus. And thank God for the fan grade. If it wasn't for the fan grade, which is like your PE elective, thank God for the fans. It's almost like the fans are like propping this franchise up by their own two hands. Comments. Bad team. Recommendations. New front office and coach. What do y'all think? What do y'all think of this report card? There you go. Actually, I don't know if a D plus is a. It's not a D plus. It's not a D plus. It's a D minus. It's a D minus. It's a D minus team right here. I have no words. I have absolutely no words. Now, what do you say? What do you say? This is a blow up the team grade. PT, exactly. If only the fans own. What do you mean? That's not fair, Isaiah. That's not fair. You've been logical all night. The Packers have Super Bowl wins. They've been a team since the early 60s. They've had success. They've had quarterbacks that are in the Hall of Fame. This is not apples to apples. You can't expect Jags fans to be like that. You think if the Packers had the history the Jags had, that they would be like that? I love you, Isaiah. I do. You know I love you. Rinse and repeat. It's beautiful. What sucks about this year is we had expectations. I think that's what hurts the most. I think that's what hurts the absolute most. And we thought going into it was a B-plus team. How did we fall for it in the preseason? Trent wonders if he can hide this report card from Sean. We should send this report card to Sean. We should. We should just send it. Be like, hey, a few of us Jags fans got together. Again, the fans are absolutely, the PE class is saving the grade. Like I said, the modern education system, this report card passes. You know, you convince a teacher here and there to change the grade a bit. You give them to a 2.0 and they pass. Not Shay's school. Not the school that Shay went to. Absolutely not. You're not graduating at Shay's school. At the school I went to, yeah, you probably could. You probably could have at the school I went to. 100%. Especially if you played a sport. Especially. Mr. Talk says, I say Duval. The Packers fans own shares. That's a good point. That's a good point. They're actually financially invested. Although buying a ticket, going to the game, spending your day, that's an investment too. No dividends or votes, but invested. Packers fans own a piece of the paper. At least we're undefeated in the preseason. That's a good point. They cannot take that from us. They cannot take our undefeated preseason away. They'll try, but they won't. The difference between the Steelers fans and Jags fans reacting to a 9-8 season is such a stark contrast. That's a good point. Now, I'm starting to get mad about we've missed out on Balky tanking us. Yeah. Jags need to go fund me to get out of the bad contracts. It's sad to think 2022 run was an outlier and an anomaly. Fans for the Packers, Detroit, Steelers, Raiders will fill other teams' stadiums like it's a home game. Same with the 49ers, the Bears. Like, the Jags are in the same category as like the Panthers and the Titans and the teams like that don't have a lot of fans, don't have a lot of history. We're getting there, though. We're making history, all right. I wouldn't say good history, but we're definitely making history. Mercedes needed to be a Jag this whole time. I know when I on the show last night when they ran the ball up the middle on us for like 15 yards and like we're looking at the pre-snap set and the Bears have Mercedes Lewis out there. I'm like, it's wild. Absolutely wild. Jags won't have tickets for $1.80. Baselli for EVP. Like I said at the beginning of the show, it can't be worse. Can't be worse at all. So, all right. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up there. This was in lieu of Club Jaguar. I had some fun tonight with the report card. I'm gonna snap it, put it on Twitter, get crapped on by our A fans. That's okay. Panda tickets are cheap, so they're worse. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Appreciate you guys being here. Had a lot of fun tonight. It was a good feeling for Club Jaguar. I miss talking to Dalton and Jen Jag. So it's okay. We'll be back next week. Oh, Friday, actually. Friday, I'm trying to get on a special guest, so we'll see what happens. I'm 50-50 on the special guest right now, but I'm hoping it'll happen. But Friday night, regardless, I'll be on. Pretty sure Travis will be on, so it'll be a good night. Make sure to follow everything, like the show, like the video. Do whatever you want to do. If you want to retweet it on Twitter, that'd be great too. That would help me out a lot. Leave a comment. That helps too. You know me. I'm just out here trying to farm some likes out here on YouTube. So, again, seriously, like to take a second at the end of every show to say seriously, thank you guys for being here. The comments were amazing. For a team as bad as we are, this is why we have A fans. This is why. So I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I will see you guys on Friday night. Until then, as always, go Jags.